r/ForeverAloneWomen. A Chromagali girl says, indirect ways people used to tell you are ugly. Last time I had sex was in 2015. He kept his eyes closed, he didn't want to turn the lights on, and he wasn't attracted to me. No hugging, no kissing, no cuddling. In 2015, right after having sex with this guy, I was having a laser hair removal procedure in my bikini area. The lady who was lasering my bikini area seemed very nice, and we connected well. She told me that her husband and father of her 3 children was actually gay. He was having an affair with a man and he, the husband, was bottom. I felt that I could open up to her, so I told her I caught feelings for this guy, and she said that I shouldn't catch feelings for a guy I had a platonic relationship with. She used the adjective platonic. So I told her that it wasn't platonic, because I had had sex with this guy. She said, wait a minute. What do you mean? Did you actually have sex? She was shocked that a guy would have sex with me. I confronted her later, and she profusely apologized. She said I misinterpreted her intentions. Well, I didn't. She must think I'm an able monster. I do not hold it against her. She seemed a very nice lady. She couldn't help it. She was shocked a guy would have sex with me. Have you experienced anything similar? What are indirect ways people have told you that you are ugly? Unmakami says, my friend was always the jealous one in her relationships, and one time she told me, you are the only friend I would introduce to my boyfriend. Thanks, I guess. That summer evening says, when a guy says, oh you are such a nice person, I'm sure someone will love you for who you are. Yeah, sure, someone. But not you. You would never want to be with me, but you think someone desperate enough will come and love me. You assume. When your friends tell you that you would be a good pair with someone who they deem as unattractive. That kinda guy who does not even take a shower or brush his teeth. Oh, I think you two would make a good couple, he is such a nice guy, sure, why don't you flirt with him then? Oh, you are way out of his league, right? When people point at you in a picture and laugh. OMG, you look so funny/weird. In fact, it is just your normal face. Also, when people tell you to stop being so stiff while taking a photo. When they tell you very detailed instructions to look at the camera and that pose happens to be the one which shows your face the least lol. Also they tell you to cover your face with your hair. When people around you compliment your clothes, hair, makeup, personality, but never you. I like your style, your hair looks very nice today, I like your eyeshadow. But it is never you look pretty. Meanwhile, they tell any other girl around you that they are pretty. They exclude you. When people immediately assume that you are single. They never ask, because they know. Demisexual Demigod 97 says, single life is better anyway. My cousin who is married for 10 years, has a 3-year-old and another kid along the way, and lives in the Netherlands. OK Jackfruit 6077 says, compliment someone next to you then turn to you, and have nothing to say, look at you sadly, or compliment your personality. Had it happened so many times. r/ForeverAloneWomen. Resident Plum 8383 says, dumbest things you've done for a man? I'm wondering if anyone else here has a track record of bending over backwards just to get disappointed. Kinda trying to take it with a sense of humor, so here goes. A list of the dumbest things I've done for possible dates/other men. Cleaned my whole flat for more than one guy top to bottom cause I had a date at my place lined up. The guys rejected or ghosted me before they ever got to see my home. But hey, at least I cleaned. Flew from Denmark to Boston, USA, only to be told he'd rather stay friends. Updated my bookshelf with about 160 worth of books cause I had a literature nerd coming over and thought he might not be impressed by my sappy romance novel collection. He also ended up rejecting me, but at least I got some good books out of it. Went to countless parties I didn't wanna go to, BC I wanted to try, and find someone to hook up with. Bought about 200 worth of lingerie for a 4th date at his place. We never even ended up kissing. Watched all the Star Wars movies, and got into trivia. BC he was a huge fan and I wanted to engage in his interests. After 3 months of dating he said he only saw me as a friend, and didn't have the balls to tell me straight away. Someone I had gone on a few dates with had his birthday coming up while I was on vacation. I sent him a postcard, wished him a happy birthday on it along with more personal words, and sent it in time so that it would arrive on his day. The picture on the card was also a reference to something we had talked about. When my birthday happened a week later, he did not even congratulate me. We literally talked about it being my birthday the night before and he forgot. Texted me about some random stuff, but just nothing relating to my day. I don't care much for attention on this day, but seeing how much effort I put in, and how he literally went below zero effort, stung. What about you guys? No Championship 415 says. This A+ effort op back in college. I had this crush who was a fan of Lotta, and I did a marathon for all 3. I hear you with how some of us women put so much effort when we like someone or impress a guy. I'm trying to learn to just be myself and move on when a guy doesn't return the same energy, but taking a break and giving up on finding dates or someone. Haha. SC4 at Kwani says. Handwritten love letter to a guy, sealed with wax seal. At least I know that I can make my handwriting look nice. Helped a guy get a mod position in a game server. He ripped my heart out later. Would chat with a guy. He would never be in camera but I was. Insert sinister reasons. Drew a Eastern dragon hugging a heart encased in ice. It's now erased as with any feelings I had for the guy. Honestly, I wish I had been born with the knowledge and experience about men, so I could just not even bother with them. All the things I did for them could have been done for myself or a woman, as a friend. La Digrama says. Believed him when he said he loved me. Penicillinum says. OMG op, I hear you. I've put so much effort into guys in the past. Edit, I forgot to mention your effort shows that you really care. You've done above and beyond. I'm sorry it wasn't reciprocated. Handwritten letter to a high school crush along with listening to his favorite bands to impress him. Plot twist, he was into my best friend at the time, stayed after hours for the guy mentioned above. I stayed for extracurriculars, just so we could talk. I actually had no extra classes. For a most recent crush, I bought him some handmade seashell decor. He likes marine life and sea related things, so I bought a little something for him. My birthday is a week later, and he totally ignored me. Related to that same crush, went to a birthday brunch I didn't even want. My coworkers said it would be for both of us, me and him, as we have our birthdays on the same month. He never showed up. Believed all his love bombing BS and thought that maybe I had finally found a guy that liked me. He ghosted me, and later I found out he never even liked me. Temporary Wonder 391 says. So I was on a dating app, and I matched with this guy, and the chat went okay. So then I asked if he wants to call sometime, and I put on MacUp in case he wanted to video call that Dale Mayo. He said yes, so I tried to plan a day, but I still haven't heard anything from him. I feel dumb Mayo. r/ForeverAloneWomen. Just when I fell in love says. The average guy is so starved for positive attention that a simple compliment is enough to get him interested in you. But God forbid the woman be fat or ugly. This was the dumbest bullshit I've ever read on this website. Yes, it's V says. Yes, that is such BS. A few years ago I complimented a guy and you would have thought I insulted his family. Like WTF. FewCook 4164 says. I don't gaff about how lonely these guys are, because I know they'd never give an ugly chick even a smidge of their attention. So I guess it comes full circle. Eileen Cassidy says, I was just talking about it on another sub. They all say they want compliments, but the great majority of them couldn't care less if they get a nice compliment from a man Mayo. Many of them really feel that a compliment has to come from a pretty woman to be valuable. SC4 at Kwani says, I remember when I complimented a guy before. He was super offended and thought I was coming on to him. I was just being nice. Himelsford says, absolute bullshit. I deeply feel for other unwanted/lonely people and usually treat them very nice. I went out of my way to compliment 3 guys specifically in regards to aspects that I admire about them, not some I like your shoes. None cared in the slightest. I specifically remember approaching my tall, very skinny and awkward ex-coworker once. He was sad, and I gathered all my courage to tell him how, honestly, impressed I am at how well he manages work in the stressful environment while staying level-headed and very functional. He looked up at me, gave me a bored look, then took out his phone to play. Then, I kid you not, some hours later, several male coworkers were in the break room talking crap about women and the coworker I complimented spouts. Yeah, women literally never have a positive thing to say. I was never complimented in my life. No my dude. You just don't care about anyone but attractive women. The rest doesn't exist to you. I just can't hear that SHT anymore. Oseen Blowavs 11 says, that's so true. I remember when I gave a guy a compliment and he acted like I'm a weirdo. No, you're the weird one for not even having manners and saying thank you. Reminds of that take I saw on another sub. If a shy and awkward girl tried to ask me out, I'd fall in love on the spot. It had 200 upvotes as well. Yeah man, I seriously doubt that. Obviously only if the girl is attractive. When I read stuff like that I can't keep my eyes from rolling into the back of my head. So ridiculous. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.